Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to some Masquerada. Um, I almost started without hitting the streaming button. Um, so I'm back again today. Oh, there goes my stream elements. I was waiting for that to pop up. Took a while. Okay. I do have um, another tab open uh, where I have the weather tracking stuff up again today, like I was doing the previous night. There's a lot of storms and a lot of tornadoes going across much of the middle area of the country right now. Um, doesn't look like as many tornadoes as last night, but coverage has been throughout the day. Um, we do have the rain here now. Um, this morning, actually, the thunder was so uh, powerful. It sounded like, a cannon going off right outside my window. It actually shook the entire house. Um, like I thought a tree got knocked over or something. But we're okay for now. So, again, if you are somebody who is in the path of the storms, especially if you're around any of the areas that are getting the tornadoes, I hope you are safe and that your fur babies and those that you care for and everybody is okay. We are going to hop into the game now. Um, I don't remember. Let's see how many things we have here. A couple things to read. I do not fancy myself a teacher or a preacher or even an instructor. I never known a passion for influencing others or wish to be more responsible for the bestowal of knowledge. But I can see why there are those that do. Perhaps that's what Razatov meant when he came to see me after my accredited death. He was to see how I'd performed, to see how much he'd done to help me. There's a certain vicarious pride one derives in watching a student or a trainee succeed. Though I would never call Tiziana either of those, watching her stand up against Fabio affected me more than I would have thought possible. I'm glad to say at least she found her way to us. It may not have been the smoothest journey, but it was an important one. For her as much as for me. Show me once again how we all matter in this world. We all have the ability to shape it, should we so choose. It has restored an old belief of mine in the power of the individual. I'd lost that optimism somewhere in the trenches of the last few years, and it feels good to have it back. The Looker is supposed to be the embodiment of honor. Men and women who hold true to their word no matter what. Though they've strayed much from their roots, I can say they still remain at least that. Mafia might have been a threat to the investigation, but it's nothing more important to a Luca than their honor. Certainly I might have used that against him. However unwise Tiziana might insist that was. I'm not particularly proud of it, but despite desperate times call for desperate measures. Okay. Oh, yep, we have a whole bunch here. Alright. We're almost through these. What am I missing here? Okay, this one. The cover read Dementica, a lexicon by Divina Vamos for our turn. Vamos. Charming, Cyrus said. The woman was quite creative with the title, no? Masha gave it to me today. She thought this was an appropriate gift to try and get me to consider joining the Vigilists. I said, pushing the thick book away from me. You didn't even do that well for their credita. Exactly what I said. Why should she want you to be part of the Vigilists anyway? I looked away. By the ages, sister, how long has this been going on? You could hear the smile in his words. Cyrus always knew. I don't know what you're talking about. She's been flirting with you, hasn't she? I would never have thought that. This Masha girl, it's why she wants you to join her. His hearty laughter filled the room, and it took most of my strength to hold back from strangling him. I shouldn't ever have brought this up. Be one of the Vigilists, huh? I've heard that Conoscenza's filled with private pockets that no one... You're filthy. He laughed. I must say, though, what a way to court someone. Maybe intellectuals excite her? I'm going to bed. Pity she isn't here to join you. I never picked up the book again. The ancient writings that were found among ruins and on tables were, until the second canticle, completely unintelligible. Many had thought, of course, that the symbols the Dementicate used and inscribed must have corresponded with the language that they spoke, to come to be known as Dementica. Without any bridge between writing and meaning, however, the road to deciphering language remained concealed. All this changed when Adoran, one of the Valencias of the second canticle, salted. His mind was freed, not destroyed, and his wife cared for him tirelessly and devotedly, despite his lack of lucidity. It was during one of those muddled moments that Divina, who had been the head vigilist at the time, realized something was off about her husband. He'd been doing research on language, trying desperately to find some sort of sense within its symbols, when her husband came over and began reading the tablets and piecing together disparate pieces of her research. Initially, she thought it had simply been a case of nonsense. How could a man, whose mind could barely hold itself together, make any sense of a language long dead? Davina had no answers, but postulated that whatever warped her husband's mind must have shaped it in such a way that he could see patterns within the inscriptions in order to make sense of the writing. Subjecting her husband to rigorous tests and further prodding, she compiled a lexicon of Dementica and spent no more time questioning her husband's newfound ability. His ramblings, despite what she initially thought, proved to be uncannily accurate and consistent. Though it took a long time for her work to gain traction within the academic community, considering her rather unorthodox methods, Davina's lexicon proved itself time and time again to be adequate in assisting with translations. It was eventually adopted as an official guide to the language that formed the base of the research into Dementica, and since then, much of what has been retrieved from the various ruins has been deciphered, translated, and preserved. Most of these translations reside in the Conoscenza, though there are others in the Assemblia as well. over to the weather thing real quick since I'm hearing some cop cars and I just want to see the trail of the storm path. Super duper quick. Um, okay. The Bright War was a war that lasted 5 years, which was the result of the registry's execution of a vigilante, Mara de Rossi, who had been organizing efforts to steal from wealthy merchants at the docks, distributing wealth and goods to the less fortunate Contadani. Even after the resolution of the Bright War, the Masquerada overpowered the Contadani into submission. There's still great amounts of dissent that lingered because revolution hadn't been solved. And that led to the War of Barons. The story of the fall of Luca is not uncommon knowledge. It was a guild that began with the best intentions, but the city quickly spread its corruption tendrils within its ranks. As the Luca flourished, its pride grew with it. Every victory over lawlessness they achieved, the belief that they were the beacons for what was right in the city only strengthened, and they worked yet harder to purge every drop of injustice. It was a vicious cycle of self-affirmation which ended up blinding the guild with the fact that it had long strayed from the virtuous path. In the sixth canticle, simmering apprehension about Luca's growing adherence to their version of justice, which had been then strayed somewhat from the general public's opinion, came to a head when Judge Mrs. Lorelaya Ashby conducted a raid on the Sanguello. The guild did not survive the events of the attack. She came to the conclusion that the Sanguello had been involved in the smuggling of test-rigged weapons from across the Midnight Belt. Once the Luca had infiltrated the board and decimated the guild, there is little evidence that the Luca walked out unapologetic. I believe the exact words of the judgesses were, "Some losses must be suffered in order to assure the good of the many." Certainly it was easy for her to say that. The Luca lost not a single member in the raid, which had been conducted in the dead of night. Needless to say, the city did not take that well. If Luca had authority and capability to conduct ruthless slaughter on baseless grounds, how safe was the rest of society? Worse still, justice on the streets had been forgotten by the Luca. Ironically, they would act only if undeniable evidence of a crime was presented to them. They had no such reservations when they held their own suspicions, however. Society's response to the destruction of the Sanguello was swift. At that time, there had been a coalition of smaller guilds specialized in bounty hunting. Each of them had their own preferred methods of operation. They worked separately and often squabbled with each other for their bounties. The annihilation of the Sanguello acted as an adhesive for the coalition, however, and they banded together, desperate to make the point that such behavior was unacceptable. Lorelaya's deathly still body was found at dawn's light, a month after the loss of the Sanguello. Her arms crossed peacefully over her chest, skin pale as snow. She had been poisoned in the middle of her court, and the perpetrator had entered and left without a trace. The day after, the Labora Solis was founded. Since then, the Laboras has acted as counterbalance to the Luca. Though Luca mellowed after Lorelai's assassination, they had returned to the ways of their predecessors, and the people of the streets needed to turn to someone for justice. The contract of the Laboras became that avenue. It was not difficult to understand a contract. While suffering an offense, once we needed to visit one of the laborious chapters, pay a nominal fee for the investigation to be conducted. The labors then verifies the truth, and if it turns out that the purported perpetrator is indeed guilty of the crime, then the rest of the fee is collected and a contract is issued. Any member of the labors is free to accept a contract and will be compensated accordingly once the target has been dealt with, and in whatever way the head of the guild, the Kyrios, has deemed appropriate. It'd be easy to compare the labors to a group of hired assassins, but they truly do so much more. They have a strict moral code they follow when issuing contracts that is not one that has been corrupted by the city. Yet. Behind shadowed eyes and blazing fires, the masquerada grin. With shards of ice and nimble limbs they hide in moonlight dim. And in the sky and under the earth the masquerada dance. If you were daft, you'd spare a look. If you had wit, you'd take no chance. For they are sly, and they are cruel, and they are tricksters too, who'll lick your throat, slit your foot, for a coin, for a shoe. So remember as you walk down streets at night and so alone, don't look back if you hear a call. If you do, pray mercy, you're shown. The Masquerada, taken from Valerius Riva's most famous work, Tales Across the Midnight Belt. The concept of the Masquerada had not existed properly until the fourth canticle, after Umbra beat back the Ultimarian invasion. Before that, there was no distinction between those who owned a masquerade and those who did not. The masquerade was seen as simply a tool, not the center of an identity. A man was not a fisherman simply because of owning a fishing rod. A man was not anything different from his fellow man just because he had a masquerade and they did not. All this changed, and the March of Broken Songs brought to attention the power a masquerade could provide. Where one had been used to convenience in everyday life, now they're being used to kill and defend the nation. Then owning one began to distinguish an individual. Where previous society treated those of masquerades the same as anyone else, it now treated them with greater respect and admiration. Subsequently, the heroes of Ombre, wielders of masquerades, were thought as deserving a name and recognition of their heroic part in part defending the nation. Sorry, I just saw that I dropped some frames. Hang on a minute. Let me pull up my stream. Okay. Let's see. Stream manager. Alright, hopefully it's not going to be too bad. I'm still alive. So there's that at least. Um, okay. Yeah, like I said, the storms are moving in. Anyway, where was I? Um, okay. I need to make sure my audio is still running as well. Okay. It was then the term masquerade was formed, and has persisted to modernity through the connotations associated with it are not as clear as they'd once been. In the current world, the masquerade of Umber is still regarded highly by foreigners who know Umbre only by name. To them, the masquerade are the jewels of the city. They might make up a tiny fraction of its population, but it is common knowledge that the nation's power is to be found within their hands. To the Contadani, however, the very people who had, roughly 300 years ago, thought that these masquerade wielders deserved praise and recognition, masquerade are selfish, conceited beings who have traded humanity for power and wealth. If you had asked me for my opinion on them when I was younger, I would have spat on the ground and cursed them as well. Now, as someone who has been taken into their ranks, one's allegiances are not so clear when the heart and mind play for different sides. No matter what I think or feel about them, however, one thing is clear. Amber would not be what it is today if not for the Masquerada. Missel is the name given to the period of Amber that began at the end of the 5th canticle, all the way to the end of the 6th, but a great number of Umbrians from the Rendagia came to live in the city instead. Once the floodgates opened after the Song of Crimson Tides, the streets began to fill at an unprecedented rate. The influx of the city's population was so great that they had to implement a law to quell it. The city had, by the end of the 6th canticle, been filled to the brim. I thought we had read that one previously, but it didn't look like it was checked off, so. Oh yeah. Song of Crimson Tides was a decade of Umbra's history in which the nation had to deal with fierce piracy that led to the deaths of a great number of merchants and traders. Fighting back against the pirates was an arduous process. Umbre managed to curb piracy enough that the merchants could travel without fear. I thought we read this one too. It's possible that it didn't save after reading some things. Or it's just repeating a lot of the same information, because that is one of the things where there's a number of lore pieces that get repeated in sections, and that is one of the things I wish was a little more cleaned up. But overall, it's not like been too bad with that. That's also why you see me like skipping some things as I read, because I'm like, yep, we've already gone through a lot of this information. Um, anyway, songstresses are a special group of masquerada that are too small to truly call a faction, but hold so much influence in the city cannot be ignored. The concept of a songstress did not exist until the city's canticle. When increased immigration forced masquerade to explore more daringly into Fey-infested regions of the city. Until the Macella, these areas were essentially considered barren. Fey that guarded them were dangerous and not to be tampered with, but they kept mostly to themselves and to the various ruins. This changed as more and more people came to the city after the Song of Crimson Tides. One of the ruins that this expansion claimed was what was called the Black Crib, expansive ruin that sat close to the heart of the city. Fey were most numerous there, and the sheer amount of rubble that was in the area, hundreds of feet high, made the task of colonizing it incredibly daunting. It was, however, the boundary of the city, and no one knew how much space lay beyond. So, pressured by an increase in the city's population, the registry commissioned expeditions. The adventurers that accepted the task went in with the intention of clearing stones and getting paid, but left with the knowledge that it would change the city forever. As they killed Fade and cleared the ruins, they came across living branches of a tree that poked out from the mound of rubble. As they continued to dig down, they discovered small gems, and as they reached the bottom, they discovered strange contraptions, likes of which had never before been seen. With hindsight today, we know that those were, in order, the singing tree, chimes, and vocifers. Needless to say, the expedition sparked great interest within those ranks of Vigilus, and as what was to be the second tree continued to be unearthed, Vigilus worked to understand the ancient contraptions left behind. No sooner had the singing tree been fully excavated than the Vigilus discovered mechanisms beyond the philosophers. The breakthrough was considered momentous. It saw chimes as having the potential to record histories of the world, stories that would last forever. They decided that the first thing to be stored in a chime would be the Song of the First, founder of Amr, and it was thus that the tradition of storing songs and legacies in chimes instead of parchment was developed. Following the creation of this tradition came the formation of the group that was to be in charge of these stories. Sect of Vigilists dedicating themselves to preserving the stories and being custodians for the tree that housed them. Though the songstresses might have their roots in the registry, over time this link withered and thinned, now they're treated by all in Umbra as neutral to the politics of the city, having no other allegiance than the singing tree and its songs. Let's close that one, that, and ease up now. I know the Altus were protective of their caches of knowledge, but this borders on paranoia. The Assemblia is equipped with a mechanism that utilizes the water that falls from the cascada to rotate sections of its infrastructure, creating an ever-shifting labyrinth to ward off unwanted intruders. The caretakers of the Assemblia is equipped with a calendar that details the single possible route to take that will guide visitors to its core, but the intricacy seems almost needless to me. Sierra Verde is not a small mountain. It reaches high into the sky and brushes the lower hanging clouds. Though there have been a few daring individuals who have attempted to scale it, none of their expeditions brought them to the tip. The visual suspect, however, that sitting at the apex is a spring of sort, perhaps the same that gives the Kalar life, which generates large pools of water that overflow and fall off the cap of the mountain in tumbling waterfalls. Most of these waterfalls don't make it to the city. The battering winds dispersing water before it hits the ground, but the largest has been gracing the citizens of Umbra with its bounty for time immemorial. This is known as the Cascata. Oh, we're missing one still. Let's see. Um, here it is. Altus Nobilis is a secretive guild which goes to extreme measures to keep their intellectual treasures away from the eyes of the rest of the city. When the concept of dividing the city into wards emerged, the Altus were the first claim ownership of a set of rooms they come to call the Misted Isles. Founded under the gentle falls of the Cascata, Misted Isles sit at the heart of the Assemblia, Altus's largest collection of knowledge. The secrets, if any, they've gleaned, have not been made public knowledge. Many secretly suspect, however, that the Altus have found little of value in the Isles, or if they had, they certainly wouldn't have used it to bolster their political position in the city. Okay. We did find another mask. Let's see. I don't remember which one though. Alright. Stampede of Lightning Horses with 3 Redeemer Fey. We'll stick with this one for now. Okay. What are our points at? Ooh. I do like the faster attacks for him. What do you got? Mass charge regen. Or increase attack speed. Let's do that one. unlock that. Do that. Okay. She's at 30 points right now. Let's do the stun. Alright. And you... Let's see, max focus. Yeah, because he's been going down a lot, so we want to reduce, we want to give them some more protection. Alright. So I think we are all caught up with that finally. Let me pop over really quick to see how the storms are doing. And we're still focusing on the south. That's where a lot of the tornadoes and bigger parts of the storm have been hitting lately. Alright. Oh, and I think we did unlock some more inks and stuff, maybe? Let me double check. What did we find? Ooh. Do some damage. Now it's 1, 3. Okay. So we have a couple more of those to find.
You're saying that she's right then?
Who's right?
Cicero, you need to hear this.
Someone's been quite the artist. Ole. What? His name?
Are you joking?
Vasco, enough, please. We have more important things to talk about.
What's the matter?
What Ole saw at the Misted Isles triggered something. Memory.
He patched it up?
And more. There was text that had been inscribed onto it. His memory is returning.
Well, what does it say then? Anything about the artifacts?
It essentially reads a warning, written by the ruler of the Empire during the months before it fell.
Is this the same emperor who won the Civil War?
The one that championed that the artifact should be hidden, yes.
If this is to be believed, then he admitted that the war had been a mistake. And one by one, unprotected by our celestial boon, our cities fell to the other gods. The chaos of the land bred, and the war of the divine raged on.
Other gods?
In the scroll that Lucia gave you, we learned about a chaos that consumed the lands, that we suspect led to the cataclysm.
Well, there have been no reports from the neighboring regions about rampaging divines, and Umber is a godless city, so...
To those in times not yet past, if among the bones of my people, you find our legacies. If those legacies still give you strength, know that the schemer, Brayog, still lives. And if one god can survive, know that he might not be alone. Do not follow my mistake. Reclaim the schemer's gifts.
Their legacy? Masquerades?
The artifacts were a part of their god. It isn't a stretch to believe that Masquerades draw their power from him as well.
And if he's still alive somewhere...
He might not be the only one.
And the threat of a cataclysm is real.
Ages. Lucia was right.
There's more, Cicero. The images.
The artifacts?
Yes, look.
A tree? The singing tree.
Yeah.
It might explain how it's been alive for so long.
We have to go. Two of you, stay here. Look after the Fey and... Oli, when he wakes up, get him to tell you where the last artifact is. The rest of you get ready.
Okay. Time to have some chats, but also look around really quick. Okay, so she's up here, but we can't talk to her. What did we get? Let's... Seeing this Fey birth from my memories and given life by my experiences brings about a strange sensation. Once part of me and yet a part of me. It is independent in its actions, but I cannot but feel connected to it. It's more than just because of the fact that I created it. As it exists and acts, I feel like I can read it, or at least sense its intentions. I've read nothing about this connection, and no one else has spoken of anything remotely similar. It leaves me wondering if there might be something more to this bond between us. Something more that tethers us. Or if I'm just imagining it. These are not questions to the present, however. For now, it is more important work to be done. And of course, being the Dimension 20 watcher that I am, I can't help but think of the little cube guy, like, you know, where it makes you think of Scream, or it makes you think of Tabby. It's like a combo of those two. Cataclysm was a war of the gods. Lucia is right. The masquerades are a testament to the survival of an ancient being, a god. It might surely be a sign that destruction that stopped the Dementicate might well be upon us. Or it might not. There exists insufficient evidence to either prove or disprove these theories that are floating about, and certainly we should consider both sides equally. We cannot allow, however, as the impediment of our progress. We must press on and focus on the present. Contemplating the future isn't going to halt the destruction of our city. In the mural, one of the artifacts seemed to be located in the tree. The singing tree, a prime candidate for investigation. So here's the thing, we already went there, we already killed that Fey that was there, right? We know Lucia has one of the artifacts. So, were the bigger Fey, like, were they freaking out because they're, like, involved in guarding the artifacts? Because we killed two of the big Fae, the mama book dragon thingy, and then the tree creature. So that would make me think if either of those were guarding artifacts, then there would be like one more somewhere in the city. Or it could be just unrelated. But I don't think so. Because again, those are like they were saying, those are two places that were really important. And now they want us to go back to the tree again. So we'll have to see.
Amadea,
I'm sorry.
you look a little pale.
I was just... Gods, Cicero.
Gods?
Alive. What does that even mean? That they walk among us? All the gods in the foreign religions are all just concepts, and now...
You can't be sure the term means the same to the Dementicate as it does to us. For all you know, Breag could have simply been a talented mortal.
A talented mortal who gives part of himself to create artifacts that allow us to bend the elements of the physical realm itself? Perhaps your idea of talented mortal needs a little redefining.
Listen, Amadea, we don't know enough to make any judgments. What we do know, however, is that out there are powerful artifacts that we need to secure. That's all that matters right now. All right?
Of course, you're right. I shouldn't be straying.
Good. Now let's get ready. Galden?
You were right. You said yesterday that you were concerned about how much bigger this investigation might get.
Now you see what I mean?
Do you think it might be true? That gods might exist?
What do you mean?
If they do, then religions can't all be lies, can they?
You're thinking about your brother.
Maybe there is a promised land. Maybe the Elysians got it right with Asharimel. Maybe I'll get
Perhaps, but until then...
Right. We have work to do.
You don't seem quite as fazed by the revelations.
What? Gods?
It's quite a discovery. That they might still live. Whatever that means.
I might perhaps be more affected if it were more affecting.
They're gods we're talking about.
And I know nothing about them. How am I supposed to let an idea influence me if it's still cloaked in questions? Whatever it is, we should leave soon. I don't quite enjoy sitting around like this.
How is he doing?
He'll be all right. Takes after you quite a bit, actually.
Why do you say that?
There's a determination in the way he moves, an authority in the way he speaks.
Is that a compliment?
He's rather malodorous, too, in case I haven't mentioned. How's that for a compliment?
Almost too kind from you.
Go on, Cicero. I'll be ready in a bit.
Anything else pop up? Just check one more time up here. No, okay.
You look like you're in a hurry, sir?
I am. The Hall of Songs, please. Right away.
We haven't taken him in a while. Took her last time for the tree. Trying to remember. Yes.
In the mural, it seemed like the artifact was in the singing tree itself. How do we confirm that?
If there is anyone who can tell us the history of the singing tree, it's Mirabaz. Hopefully she can tell us more.
But do you think she even knows if the...
Wait. Is that... No.
Oh, yeah.
No!
I'm ready.
Popping up. Here. You also wanna get that up. You. Alright. Let's look around for anything special first. We go running in there. Anything this way? Nope. Alright.
Orlana!
Mask Runner!
What happened?
Mask runners. They swarmed the hall. I don't know why.
Mirabos, where is she?
Why are you asking what happened? You saw what happened.
Get those you can to safety.
But
Look around you, Orlana. The hall is lost.
all right. Take care of her, Cicero.
Sorry, that was just like a stupid question.
Mirabos!
Oof.
Ready yourselves.
Oh, shoot. Well, air. Anything important? Go up here. So we'll probably have to go up further. But let's.
They're gonna do.
Here, there's you. Alright.
Mirabos, we have to leave.
The tree, Cicero.
What?
Their leader. She's ascending it. They're here for something.
Stay here. I'm going up.
Cicero.
Tend to your songstresses, Mira.
Be safe, Cicero.
Alright, now we can start running.
Get them!
Let's make them regret this.
Yeah. Now, we can hit all these guys. And then hit again. Mousy. Okay.
You have put your faith in the wrong forces, Cicero.
Lucia, stop.
Do you see now what you could have gained? Do not let him follow me.
Lucia!
I'm ready.
Back up in the meantime.
Ages too close. Thank you.
Alright. Anything around here? Look for anything of note. Okay.
Hang in there, Mira.
Spear point!
Yes.
Oof. Get over here.
Over here.
Um, them off.
Mira, don't stop.
Ah,
Please.
got something here popped up. Alright. Got an ink. Alright.
Let's do this!
Come on.
And then pop that on top. Nope, you get back there.
That should be the last of them.
Good. Now quick! No! 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 Mira,
My boy,
hold on.
my time is long over.
Mira, please.
Sing a good song for me.
Mira. Mira. No! No! Mira.
Oh. That's a bit of a glitch. I was hoping it would let me see what's going on, but I guess there wasn't anything to collect in that area. Hopefully.
Here they come!
And then pop that up. Ay. Shoot. You. Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. See? Hey, pupper. Hi, kitty.
Lucia!
Don't stop!
You were right!
What?
You were right! About the cataclysm, about the artifacts. I have seen enough for myself to believe.
You understand?
I don't want there to be another cataclysm.
We are on the same page, you and I. I knew you would see it.
Our goals are the same, yes. But you cannot achieve them this way.
No, 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 no! You are so close to understanding!
Wake up and look at the fires, Lucia! What will you be saving? A ruined city? Mira Bast is dead because of you!
The lady has...
The lady does not have it figured out! You said she has a plan for me. How can you believe that when I am standing against you? She is not a god, Lucia. She is as fallible as you and I. You know she was born mortal.
No! You are wrong! She plans to unite the city.
You have just destroyed the one thing holding it together!
You are wrong! Why is the seed in my hands and not yours? Get to the White Spire. Give the command. Seal the streets and don't let them follow me.
No! Damn it! Ulve!
What's that?
head for the spire. We must stop her.
You've seen the power she wields, Cicero. We cannot.
We must try.
But the coach!
The coach cannot move through the collapsed streets. We go on foot. Tell the twins to find a way to the registry and meet us there.
Ages.
We were too late.
No. No. Tristan! More behind!
Legana. Artur.
Cicero!
Alright, before we move on, just trying to hit these. Pale Isle of Virtue's principal ward is surrounded by a moat that separates it from the rest of the city. Though none have been able to identify the source of the water, the city relies heavily on it for sustenance. The Kalara Falls, an gushing waterfall at the edge of the Pale Isle, into a large basin which distributaries that flow throughout the city, nourishing it with fresh water. Cantari and Mede practice massages is too different from Miramento. It's not too different from Miramento. Both involve music, but the instrument wielded by the songstresses is their voice. Research into Cantari has been significantly less compared to the other media, partly because the recentness of his discovery, and partly due to the low number of people able to practice. Macantari seems to be the only Medea that cannot simply be learned. Some degree of aptitude seems to be required. One to become a songstress, and for a strange reason, that aptitude is yet to be found in a male member of society. Again, the reasons for this being so are not clear. Vigilus have tried to study Macantari in greater depth, but the ephemeral nature has made answers difficult to glean. Once believed she might be somehow shown the truth. Now I see what a fool's notion. She is too far gone. The destruction of the hall is evident that her mind is moved to irredeemable places. If she can muster the will to desecrate the only thing holding the city together, there's nothing else that she will stop at. I know now that there's nothing I can say or do that will convince her to change. The only way we will be able to stop her lies in her defeat, and if necessary, her death. Pains me greatly to know that she is the end I seek, but after all that's happened, after all the city is lost, what other plausible outcome can we hope for? Besides, the moon has the artifacts. That is not the Lucia I know, and if she were to perish, would not be the Lucia I mourn for. No, she's been gone for a time. There's no question why the religions have tried to take root within our strait, have withered and died. Too many of them propose some form of celestial justice. There's no such thing. There's no justice that the soils have in store for us, waiting to bloom, as Elendil proclaims. No good tidings that the alignments of the stars promise, as they say in Ashra Ramal. Our misfortunes are not taken away from us by the seaward winds. When we stand on a cliff with arms outstretched, as read in the scriptures of the Bavara, justice is a concept of our mind, and putting faith in the notion that there is a celestial divine form of recompense awaiting those who are good in this life is a darling sentiment, but it's just that, a sentiment. And those that tell me that Mirabos's death is simply a stepping stone for something greater, for something beautiful in her next life, this is my proposal. Allow me to send you on your way to something beautiful. I believe it would do us both a great service. Anything else?
We need to get out of here. Cicero, focus! We've lost it, Cicero. The spire is gone. There's nothing you can do. We need a place to go.
Seymour's throne.
What?
The crown needs to come together. It's the only way.
But
Apologies, sir. Oh, ages! You found a clear road?
Is that? Yes, sir, we did.
Take us to Seymour's throne. Now!
Cicero, what is going on? Cicero, talk to me, please.
We lost the Hall of Songs.
What do you mean, lost? Cicero.
Destroyed.
What?
How did you lose the spire?
Avestus wanted to make sure Lucia hadn't survived the sunken star. Sent out Portieri to scour the rubble. I told him not to, but... Mirabos? Cicero.
She's dead, Tristan. Mirabos is dead, as are most of the songstresses. The singing tree has been defiled. We've lost the spire, and we're up against a madwoman who has the power to create masquerades. And the only way we're going to be able to stand up against her is if we unite a city that's been broken for as long as anyone alive remembers. That's what's going on.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Cicero, about the sunken star.
I don't want to hear it. You almost killed me! I don't think being silent is too much to ask for. Stay here. I'm going inside. Make sure it's safe.
Safe from what? The throne's been empty for decades.
Just stay here.
Checking the weather really quick. Okay. Hey, Pupper. Hello, Puppers. Apparently the game decided to mimic the current forecast as well. Puppers, go find somewhere to be. Chicken stew. Everybody go find some shelter. And be outside. Alright.
Cicero.
Calden?
Oli. He woke up and the first thing he did was rush out of the estiguary.
He refused to speak to us, focused only on bringing us here.
Here?
That triangle that you saw in the mural.
Seimora's throne.
We weren't expecting to see you here.
She has the seed. It was in the singing tree. She got there first.
Ages.
The hall has been destroyed. Mirabas is dead.
What?
No. What is left for us?
The only way we stand a chance against Lucia is by bringing the city together.
You intend to unite the guilds?
Yes. I'll take 2 of you. We will secure the throne to make space for the crown. The others must go to the guilds.
How are you certain they will listen?
They must have heard word of the chaos by now. They want an explanation.
And if they don't?
Make them.
And the knife?
We will deal with that after the throne is secured. With or without the artifacts, we are nothing without the support of the guilds now.
Then make your choice, so we can act quickly.
We need to secure the area. Tristan needs some space to take care of Avestus.
Fey, of course. Rhea!
Keep looking around. That. Okay. So that's for him.
We've got this!
We're doing pretty good.
Ulve!
Okay. Oh. Alright, let's see. Where Gorilla or Fey that have adopted insectoid forms and behaviors found in abandoned sites above ground. Other cultures that complain of cobwebs and spiders in old buildings, onwards of the umbrella. Uh-huh. Okay. In the sixth canticle, the black curb was cleared out, the white spider established. The Gypsy saw a need to connect the city better, and so constructed two major highways. Top to bottom, left to right. Highway that paralleled the shore of shadows and divided the city into its darker halves called Madar. The road that connected the white spider to the docks was called Desesa. Monument left behind by the Mendicant, Sonora's throne was one of the few pieces of architecture of the ancient folk that hadn't been completely demolished by the cataclysm. Odd by modern architectural standards, the throne is a triangular structure with several stories, and due to its location along the sea, used by Samar as a centralized location, they discussed war plans during the Great War. Before that, however, the throne belonged to the registry. Okay. I'm guessing. I want to destroy these things. Can we not? Huh. Why? I was worried about nipping in like goop, but I guess we have to at some points. Right, so far so good. Let's pop a heal just in case.
Should be the last of them.
The masquerades are being created.
Yes, my lady.
The White Spire has been taken. Our powers grow by the second. And yet...
You never told me how he fit into your plan.
it is sufficient to know that all is well.
That is not good enough.
It must be.
The blood of my people is on my hands. Our culture is in ruins because of me.
You love this city,
More than you know.
and if it falls, when you had the chance to save it, have faith, my child.
The crown is assembling. I can't believe they actually agreed to come. How are you?
Fine.
I mean it.
So do I.
Word is hit the streets already. People aren't sure what to do, now that the Hall of Songs is gone.
Is Vasco finished with Oli?
I don't know.
Call him in.
Is there anything else you need?
No. Where is he?
Scouting the premises, looking for the entrance.
Into what?
This place was a prison. Back in his days. The knife is somewhere inside it.
But he's told you what it does?
The Dementicate believe that the artifacts were Vienna, physical representations of various aspects of their god, Breag. The heart was a representation of the ideal that was free will. By itself, it achieves little, but when paired with purpose, it can work wonders.
Like create masquerades.
Yes, with the seed, which was an embodiment of
Right.
progress, of growth. Just those two artifacts are enough to create masquerades from souls, to help them ascend.
How do they work?
Like any other masquerade, with the heart and the seed on a face. All it takes is some mental effort, some will, and...
And we turn into masquerades?
Yes.
By the light. How are we supposed to stand up against something like that?
The knife.
Yes. It is the counterbalance. Instead of progress, it is stasis. Instead of growth, it is death.
Death?
In a permanent sense. Using the seed gave their souls motility. From Fey to Mist, and Mist to Fey. They'd never truly die.
And the lands would be filled with Fey, too. They would just keep coming back.
Which is why the knife was sent down. With the heart, it has the ability to destroy masquerades and Fey, and leave nothing behind.
Well, that doesn't help us.
There's more. The seed and the knife have properties on their own as well. In line with its purpose of progress and growth, the seed enhances the bearer's soul, expands and deepens the connections they have with masquerades.
I witnessed Lucia branding Earth in the Hall of Songs. She's supposed to be a firebrand.
Right.
And the knife?
It is the idea of death or stagnation. By itself, it grants stasis of the soul. Prevents it from ascending, as it were.
It'll stop us from being turned into masquerades?
Yes.
Then that's our answer. We need the knife if we're going to stand up against Lucia.
and Oli will lead us to it, once he remembers where the entrance is. In the meantime...
Sir, the crown's gathered. They're waiting for you. I'm on my way.
Alright, alright. Throne was a jail in the treasure representations of Brag. Seed was growth. By itself, it enhanced the abilities of its possessor. The knife was stagnation. By itself, it prevented the possessor's soul from being affected by the seed. The heart was free will. By itself could do nothing, paired with the seed or knife could either create or destroy. With the seed, it could turn a man into Fey. With the knife, it could take it all away. Stick with that for now. To the last north of Umbre, past the Cavalli Fields, through the Vallis Ventosus, lies the land of Lystra. Little is known about the people of the Windy Vales, and tracks of the southern terrain of the Vallis and the Astrophantasmia are few and far between. To date, there's been no trade that has been conducted with the insular people, and little is known about their culture. Umbra's influence is not confined solely to the Silent Stones. The flow between foreign countries and Umbre has been unidirectional. The seventh canticle has not been unidirectional. The seventh canticle, just a handful of years before the beginning of the Great War, Umbre established its first overseas colony in the Cavalli Fields, lands neglected by the Zork, who believe its soils were cursed by the god of the evening sky. Skeptical of anything based on religion, registered sent a large amount of people, mostly prisoners and outlaws. In exchange for independence, paid the Zork government a portion of the produce and crops it were to cultivate. The government agreed, and thus Umbre's first colony birthed. Solid stones are Umbra's biggest mysteries. There are 12 in total, and they rest quietly on the circumference of a large imaginary circle, perfectly measured around the city. Even in the waters of the Midnight Belt lie a few of these stones. They are significant in their existence because they mark the boundary of magic that is to be found in Umbra. Beyond them, even if a masquerade is worn, there's no magic to be had. The world ceases to bend to the will of the elements, and it is as though the elements beyond have grown deaf to our commands. No one yet knows why this is the case. The Federalists is certain their boundaries do not restrict to Menticate in times past, for their empire spanned far beyond the solid stones. Hmm. Interesting. Oh. No. I'm guessing this is where.
Sir.
Yeah. Alright. I don't know how close this is to endgame. So maybe we'll see about. Okay, so there's one we're missing here. I think we're missing two there. It's either one or two, it's hard to tell. Also, I'm not sure if this carries over into all the masks, or if this is something like you would have to do each time you change one. I'll just leave it for now. What's our skill set? One. Right.
It's true. The streets are rife with the knowledge.
The city is in shock. We need to assure our peoples that everything will be all right.
All right?
The nexus of our history, the sole thing in this city that binds us together, has been desecrated.
By mask runners, no less. We should have seen this coming.
We did, 5 years ago, and we quelled it then.
You call this quelled? This is what happens when we allow ourselves to be governed by such a pathetic body.
Please, Varpravia, that is not what we're here to discuss.
Oh, that is exactly what we are here to...
Enough. The Inspectore has arrived.
Let's see, anybody have anything to say? Samar's collective names of the 6 guilds of Ombre. Relatively recent invention. Come about in the final years of the 7th Canticle when the Great War just began. When the Continani rebelled, it was not done in similar fashion to the way they would have in the War of Barons, with their hatred targeted at the Registry specifically. Instead, it was aimed at Masquerada in general, and prompted a banding together of the guilds that existed at the time. The Sorelli de Mar, Luca Infinita, Laboris Solus, Cacciatore, Aldus Nobilis, Dieti Sovrani. The guilds, perhaps for the first time since they emerged, came together under the name Samora and quelled the rebellion, leading this association with Samora's crown, rising 6 leaders of the guilds, and though the Great War was long over, the symbol that is the Samora has persisted. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about the alliance between the guilds. Once it had been based on camaraderie, now is tainted with distrust and contempt.
Finally. Please, Cicero, this room has been desperate for a voice of reason. And an explanation.
What do you know?
The Hall of Songs has been defiled by mask runners. The singing tree is bleeding, and most of the songstresses are dead.
No word on why or how they managed to do that.
I have told you already. It is because of the way the Registry has oppressed them.
Do not be so quick to absolve yourself. As Masquerada, you are just as responsible.
Both of you, enough. Fill the air with any more of your vitriol, and there will be no room for explanations. Go ahead, Inspectore, please. Is Pravia right about the intentions of the mask runners? It would make sense, seeing as though they've already claimed the Spire as their own.
For some of them, perhaps, but as a whole, no. They are not acting out of vengeance. They are in pursuit of power. The destruction you see is merely collateral.
What sort of power is there to be gained in dishonoring our culture?
The power to create masquerades.
What?
There was an artifact in the singing tree left behind by the Dementicate.
That allows them to create masquerades?
Yes.
Impossible!
All right, let's assume we believe you. Why did they storm the Spire?
To prove their power. To intimidate you, the Crown, into obeying them.
There! Vengeance!
No, they have other reasons.
Your lie is running thin, Inspectore.
They believe it is necessary for the city to come together to stand against another cataclysm.
Another cataclysm? Are we of the same mind here?
As in the event that wiped out the Dementicate thousands of years ago?
Yes. And they are willing to spill rivers of blood if it means getting the city under their thumb.
They're insane. Fanatical.
They actually believe this? That they're going to save the city?
With every fiber of their being. And unless we stand together, the Mask Runners are going to swallow the guilds one by one.
And if we stand together?
We need to reclaim the White Spire.
No. Previa, don't you see what this is? A fabrication based on our ignorance of the old world, created to gain the Registry our aid, simply to reclaim the throne that they've lost. There are no artifacts or a coming cataclysm. The truth is simple. The Mask Runners rebelled, struck out at the heart of the society that's oppressed them, and finally pooled their wits together and claimed the Spire as their own. And now the scum of the White Spire have woven a tale in an attempt at winning back their control over us. But to that I say...
It is true. And here I thought you'd lost your voice. Fabio, what do you mean? All the Inspectore speaks of, it is all true.
How can you say that?
I've had an agent that has been traveling with him. I've heard her accounts, and at first I was skeptical as well. But give it some time and you will come to see the sense in it. It explains some of the mysteries of our land.
So you've known about this for a while then?
And you kept it from us?
We were supposed to be better than this, Fabio. I acted in the interest of my people. You would have done the same. You acted in the interest of your guild. The people of the city are your people. That is what the crown is supposed to stand for. Stop! I understand I have wronged the crown by my actions. But all is shadow under the light of the present.
Fabio, you believe him?
I do. And if you could, for a moment, put aside your Altus pride and admit there are things of the past you do not know. Pravia?
I will not commit to a deluded fool's plan.
So either she doesn't, actually believe any of it, or she knows everything is true and wants to hide the fact that they've known for a while.
Pravia, wait!
Because of whatever knowledge they have.
This city needs you. This is about more than just the registry. More than your pride. Please.
You will not win my people over with lies.
With all the rain that's been going on, I smell,
Cicero,
wet
the
dirt.
altars are leaving. Cicero? Where are you going?
To gather an army.
It's fine. We're down one. It's fine. We still got plenty. But yeah, as I was saying, there's been a lot of like more smoke smell and stuff on fire the past week or so. So today, with all the rain, it's finally brought about that, like, that nice springtime. Not just how it's warmer. I don't need the heat on, so I'm not freezing. Even though I'm still cozied up in my usual spot. But I can, since the window is right here, I can smell like that damp earth smell. I'm a fan of it. I don't know how many other people are, but I am.
Raise the call for your people.
I'm sorry, did I miss something? Did you change her mind?
No, but us sitting around despairing isn't going to either. Any more time we give the Dactytes is time for them to strengthen their army. We need to stop them quickly, altars be damned.
Inspectori, you of all understand the DHA's stance on the altars, but even I know that they have one of Umber's strongest armies.
You are the leaders of the city, the people who are its custodians. If you will not stand up for the land you call home, who will?
Sunken
It's
stones,
not like
he's
they're
right.
trying to stop
What of you,
us.
Cicero? What are your
They just don't
plans?
want to be involved.
Lucia has 2 of the 3 artifacts. I need to find the last one. It will give us a better chance against her.
Then come. We all have work to do.
Ages be with us all.
You did good.
We're 1 guild short.
We're 5 guilds more than we had.
It's not over yet.
Ooh, we got a couple things here. Alright. With the leader of the Aldous, the guild in the city most concerned with the past, Privy seems to be the most blind to its lessons. How many times in the history of the world, both our nation and of those not, have great men and women fallen because of pride? How many times have leaders who have allowed their conceit to blind them to the right course of action led their people to death? How much has the US of our kind cost us? The toll is great and it grows by the day. She has pulled her forces from the resistance, and we are that much weaker. I can only hope she hasn't damned us all. Many believe the leaders of the Varus Timur are embodiments of the values of the guilds. In some of them, that is not the case. In others, it could not be more true. I found myself grouping Seville among the latter. I found it hard to believe the leader of the Dieti could be any more concerned with coin. Perhaps this should not come as a surprise considering the mechanisms of leadership within the Opal Guild, but that has certainly made me wary of the intentions of the man. He's always glistening of avarice that looks behind his every promise. The call of coin instead is stronger than anything else. Many times he's made me doubt his honor. My suspicions about the man have yet to be proven right, however. With his cordial nature, he remains in relatively good stead with the other members. Save Privia. Perhaps I truly have misjudged the man, but considering the times that we are in, I'm certain it will not be long before his true loyalties are brought to the surface. Of all the citizens of the city, the leader of the Laboras might be in possession of the pair of hands most steeped in blood. Rarely does he do the killing himself, but all it takes is a flick of a wrist, the signature of a line, a contract made. Members of the Purple Guild go on the hunt. Bounties completed, crescents exchanged, the world carries on. Despite his inextricable position in the mire surrounded of shadows in the city, I have nothing but respect for the man. Again, my duties have rarely put me in a position that requires me to interact comprehensively with them. But on the few occasions I have, he has shown nothing but an impressive level of professionalism. He's polite, spares no time for jest, and has always been true to his word. I would not consider myself trusting of very many, but if I forced to make a decision on whose integrity is most intact, it would without a doubt be Vicario's. Alright. Go for a little bit longer.
lift mechanism?
The Mentacate had some fine technology.
And no one knew about this.
They did, they just didn't know what it was.
I suppose it's easy to pass it off as just another quaint part of history.
Does it know how to use it?
Shade?
Ages. Every hour I realize just how little we know about their culture.
Just their culture. Their entire world is a mystery to us, my dear. Their technology, their stories, their magics.
Focus, you two.
Right. So, it's a two-way mechanism. Oli's activated it so that it'll take us down.
Into the prison?
The son of the old emperor had once been housed here. He hadn't agreed with his father's turnaround on his view about the artifacts. But his father couldn't bring himself to kill his son.
So he locked him away for eternity?
Well, just until the cataclysm, yes?
Two of you can follow me down, along with Ollie. The others should wait up here, in case anything happens.
Let's take you and you.
So, now what? All right. Ages. This is enormous.
Where do you think the knife is?
Let's start looking and we'll find out.
What's happening?
Brace yourself!
Cicero!
Are you all right?
It's not the first time we've jumped from falling rocks.
What happened?
One of the supports must have given way. Damn, that was supposed to be our way out.
The stone
there
at the
should be
prison's made
more.
upright. There's no way to brand it.
Hang tight, Cicero. We'll find a way.
I'll be here. Of course. Come on. The knife isn't going to find itself.
400 years in the city and there's still so many secrets. Every time a new room is discovered, same questions are asked. What was it? What treasure does it hold? How can we use it? Discovery of this place might pique the curiosity of some. If we were in a different time, who might wish to observe this place, this prison, for clues? Alright. There's a couple ways to go here. There's a lot of ways to go. Alright.
Ulve!
Let's heal you up.
I thought everyone was supposed to be free of Fey.
If things were the way they were supposed to be.
I suppose you're right.
here.
Ray out.
Need to heal you. Get those back out again too. Oh, so we can go. So it looks like there's multiple ways we can go. Well, let's keep clearing these out first. And then I guess we'll decide. That didn't work so well. Pop that. Oh.
You have my thanks.
There. Okay. Yeah, so. Okay. So there's 3 exits here. We gotta decide where we want to go. I guess we'll just try one randomly and see what happens.
Ollie, if you would.
Oh. Alright.
Hold your ground!
I can't. Uh-oh.
Stronger than I thought.
Invulnerable? What does that mean? Here. Heal, 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 heal. Can we... Is that going to do anything? How we stop this? Oh, so... a heal.
Protect me.
Alright, careful, careful. Dang it. Yeah, because you're both standing in the stuff that you should be. Heal up, heal up, heal up, heal up. Ay. Try and get. Oh. Alright. Oof.
There, stairs.
It was guarding it.
Alright, check around, check around. Try to collect as much as we can first. So, we have all of hers now. We're missing one for her. We have all of his. Missing one there. One there. Okay. Alright. Oh yeah, what's our skill points at? 3? Okay. Onward we go.
Come on. Ages. What is this?
It looks like a studio of some sort.
It's Umbric. Someone's been here before. Look around. See what you can find.
Umbra's youth, much of what constitutes the city of today was uninhabited. Too many Fey roam the lands, and the darkness of the mountain shadow was haunting enough to keep hearts at bay. As the population of the nation grew, people needed places to live. So the first Northalia, Prima Campbell, was constructed, marked the end of the first canticle. Since grown to a substantial town, provides a large portion of produce. Okay. So
Over here. There's something under the box.
Ages. Do you think this is it?
One way to find out.
Okay. One sec, just check the weather tracking. Of course, I have to reload the page. Every now and then, I have to reload the weather stream because it'll freeze up. It's been going all day, so. Alright, they're still focused on the south, so I think we're still okay.
Is that it?
Look at the walls, the carvings. This place is too manicured for it to be ordinary. This must be it. This is our answer. This...
Well, what is it?
It's empty.
What? Cicero!
What are you looking for?
We're missing something. Whoever was here must have moved it. Must have... Fey.
What?
These sheets. They describe the process of creating Fey, and how they protect from her gaze.
Her gaze?
The lady. Impossible.
What are you looking for?
Tell me I'm wrong, please.
Cicero, what are you...
Razatov.
He was here.
No. Cicero!
Calvin! I'm here. Pull us up, quick!
You two, follow me.
But the others?
Tie the rope. They can climb out themselves.
Cicero, what is going on?
Toads! The estiguary! Now!
What?
Now! We need to go faster.
Cicero, what is going on?
We have to get to the estiguary.
I don't understand.
That room in the throne, it was Razatov's.
So what?
The first day I arrived, I found a stone in his office. I gave it to Leventhus.
And you think... Oh, Aegis, no.
Told you it was a red flag.
Please, no.
Death flag.
Toads! Get the others! Horseback!
Yep.
On it!
Like I kept saying it.
Come out, you fool!
Setting
Get
this
away
guy up
from
to be
them!
killed.
We've got this!
But you should have known better. And it's like they brought it up multiple times. I was like, this guy's gonna get killed because you keep getting him involved. And he just was like, here, look at this object that this other guy was kidnapped and probably murdered for. Oh yeah, that object I gave you? Yeah, sure, you can keep it. You know? It's like, oh god.
Ven? Ven! No!
Cicero, what?
Get up! Come on, Ven! Carlton, please!
Cicero.
No! Carlton! Wake them up!
I cannot, Cicero. I'm sorry.
Do something, damn it!
They are gone, Cicero.
Smoke must have taken them.
No.
I am so sorry, Cicero.
They were runic. They deserve a burial.
You know the songs?
I do.
Now, I would be more emotional if it weren't for the fact that they kept bringing it up, and I kept saying how stupid it was because they're going to die. Like, they're going to die. You're making it very obvious. It'd be one thing if it was like out of the out of the blue.
Damien!
But
Carlton!
Tides. He's still breathing. How is this possible?
We need to get him out.
I need to stabilize him, Cicero. Bring the coach. Hang in there, you. He's in the infirmary.
How is he? Calden.
There's barely anything left of his body. I almost salted trying to fix him, but he'll live. Vasco says it's the reason he survived. According to him, his soul was in stasis. Seems like it's more powerful than we thought.
Are the preparations complete?
The entire building has cages all around. If my brother was right, then this will certainly stop the lady from seeing through.
And the armies?
The Luca, Sorelle, and Dieci are all here. The Cacciatori are trickling in. The Labores ranks aren't so full to comprise an army, but they're all here as well. Listen, Cicero.
What about the streets? Have they been...
Cicero.
We have a job to do, Calton.
Mm-hmm.
We've been through this before. We can...
No, we haven't. We haven't been through anything even close to what's happening, Calden. The crown's waiting for me.
As a Tom's journal, I'm keeping this record because this is the only way to prove that I retain my sanity. Yes, write down your thoughts, validate your mind. Guarantee you would be proud. Yesterday, I was in the Conoscenza, I saw something, I swear it. A shadow, figure, being, something, I don't know. It's been bothering me ever since, and I feel like it's haunting my mind. Better put it down on paper and let it haunt that instead. Again, I saw it today. I was covering the Conoscenza for information. I could feel it then watching me, just watching. I turned to my room and tried to shake off the feeling. When I looked in the mirror, there it was. In the mirror. It was a heart-stopping shock, if ever there was one. Finally, I managed to calm my wits. Tried to touch it, but it vanished. I think it's absolutely ridiculous writing this down, but I don't think it's out to hurt me. I don't know. It is. I don't know. I can't believe this. I spoke to it in Dementica, in the Cleaver. It told me that it's Fey. It's Dementicate. That there was a civil war. I don't know. Write down your thoughts, validate your mind. Lord, you will not be happy how this has turned out. I have admitted I'm insane. There's no doubt about it. I've seen the creature. It's real. Real, and I'm insane. The only consolation is the mess that I have to lead in this mess is that I have a lead. It visits me every night to tell me things about masquerades, Fey, Dementicate, civil wars. It's a lot to take in. Hopefully we'll be more forthcoming in the following days. It's done with its tale, civil wars, traitors, zealots, hidden artifacts. I'm still reeling. It tells me there's little time. It's not the only one of its kind. There are others searching. I must be careful indeed. Of course there's a reason. He took me to the throne today, showed me an artifact. Couldn't believe what it was. So small, innocent, yet powerful. He said that he made contact with you because he needed someone to look after the artifacts, to ensure that the Mara didn't get their hands on it. I was already halfway discovering them and he thought I'd make a good steward. I told him otherwise, told him that he's got it completely wrong, thinking I'd be a good steward. I'm not courageous, like Tristan, or a fighter like my brother. I can barely defend myself against simple Bolgia, much less whatever else is looking for these secrets. I offered to fight him just to prove my point, but he was adamant I'd bear the burden. I hoped that he'd be a little more truthful, but he gave me the artifact he's growing weaker. I suppose it's forgivable. I accepted his request, and he's begun to tell me how to keep artifacts in the Pale One, but he couldn't tell me. He could tell I was distracted. Of course I was distracted. What do you think I feel after all this? Calm? He said we'd talk about it some other day. On another note, I started composing something for Cal. I don't want to think about it, but if something happens, no bad thoughts. He taught me how to create Fey, tells me he won't be able to shade the knife for much longer. Trying to get someone I can trust to replace Alice. She's a great custodian, but I'd rather be safe, yes? Mysterious things like this are difficult, especially when she was recommended her position by Lucia. Well, whatever it is, the heart seems safe enough. Sarah for now. He likes to remind me it's the knife I need to worry about. I've got all the equipment to create face setup. He's finally told me what his intentions are, and I think it's a fine plan. Valentine said writing things down helps you remember. Pale one is like him, form shifters of the Fey. It's easy for them to look for things, just turn a theory on the world as theirs. Fortunately, they can't see and move in spaces occupied by others. It said something to do with the energies, but I didn't inquire further. He told me to create Fey so that I could keep the knife hidden. Too dangerous here with him fading and all. So, create Fey, keep the knife close, and it'll be safe. That's it. Sounds like a solid enough plan, yes? Hard to believe something so small and innocent could be the key to destroying something so eternal and powerful. I looked at the knife, and all I could think is how I wouldn't know what it was, even if I tripped on it. Another note, I finished a song for Cal, sang it myself even. I'm writing a lot. A long entry this one is. Like, I don't want the day to end. I don't. First, I sing my own song for Cal, and I pack everything away. Now I can't stop writing. He tells me not to worry, but I know. I can't shake the feeling something's going to. I'll write again after I set the Fae up. Keep the knife hidden. I'll write another entry. And he'll talk about protecting the heart and the seed. In the meantime, I'll leave this here. There's more I need to write, but I'll write about it tomorrow. There are those that would tell me to be happy for her because she perished surrounded by those she loved. But that makes no sense. As if they tell me to ignore the fact she's gone. Pretend like her death hurts me none. Though it may be that I was closer to Lev than I was to Olivia. The loss is no less savage, pain no less real. There's nothing I can do about this. I always thought to myself that I would spend more time with Olivia than when I had the chance. I'd get to know her better. When I found my pockets of time in my schedule. But I never did. Now, I never will. Some losses cannot be scribed, some pains cannot be chronicled. It's not for the lack of will, but simply because their nature and freshness. Perhaps one day Olivia will speak of this as candor. Perhaps that day will never come. Whatever the case, for now I cannot write this more simply. I'm sorry I haven't the strength to preserve his legacy in words. Sorry I'm failing even now. In his death as I failed him in life. Sorry I cannot give him what he gave me. Frustrates me, it saddens me, I'm sorry. This is all I can give. Goodbye then. Anything else here? Alright. Let's take a look. What do we got? Still missing quite a bit here, so. Across the Midnight Belt is the country of Rune. Arguably the source of much of Umber's cultural flourishing, Runic society is obsessed with arts. Until Umber's flourishing was regarded as the cultural capital of the Midnight Belt. There's no resentment harbored by the Runic people. They are instead happy that Umber is doing so fantastically. After all, that just means that they have another country to establish profitable trade with. Zor slaves countries that establish trade. Small nation, incredibly private. The pale people from Zor have refused time and time again to allow Almerians into their land. What's known about the culture, save the fact that they are incredibly attuned to the natural world. The sun and moon are supposed to be the objects of their worship. Priests from their people as land listeners. Ports visited by Zoric tradesmen are often filled with glass containers of strange flora. Some have sworn the plants the Zoric deal with have minds of their own. Due to the recentness of these gods, however, such rumors are regarded as baseless. Okay. Again, the calling of the Pale People, which makes me think like more northern, like group. Very in tune with flora, which makes me think of the Fey. And they were referring to, in that note from Raz, they were referring to the lady, I believe. I think that's who it was referring to, even though it didn't specifically say. But they said the pale one, right? And her, the pale one. She was a person, right? Though the Fae were originally. So could the pale people of Zor have been a split off from the older Grintakane before the group in this area fell? Maybe? I'm very interested in whenever there's like repetitions of mention of colorings and things like that. Like how do things tie together in the symbolism? Anyway, Zenza is a difficult media to describe. Not only is it the most recently discovered media and therefore has the least amount of research, its effects are more subtle. The visuals describe it as the art of thought. Education's pathway to accessing the benefits of Msenza, as evinced by the visualists. Librarians and historians of the registry aren't often trained in any others, but they wield the elements at a strange amount of strength. Certainly they aren't able to shape elements the way the Sicarios can, or manipulate them as one would with the Astrea, or Ateria, There's a strange difference in their branding that, though slight, is undeniable. Fire they brand burns hotter, the earth they brand tends to be sturdier, ice colder, wind stronger. The effects aren't incredibly marked, and there's still much debate surrounding it, but in the world of academia, its existence is affirmed. So it's like more. more grounded in one spot, maybe. That's not the right way to say it, but it's more intense. More tanky, you could say. Okay. With only a few minutes left before I end this stream, so I'm gonna see what we can do here.
I'm so sorry.
I doubt he can hear you. Look at me. If you've ever needed a reason to gloat,
I have nothing to say to you.
Yeah,
I do.
now's not the
Will
time,
you do a
dude.
shamed man a favor? I'd like not for my life to end with me shouting across a room.
The crown is waiting for me.
They can spare a short moment.
What do you want?
I have done foul things in my life to get my title, my rank. I have sacrificed so much. Of things that were mine to sacrifice, and also of things that were not. But I did it all for a reason, Cicero. Always in the interests of the city. I need you to understand that. Now I am fading. I might have survived the ordeal at the registry, but I am old. Even healing hands cannot reverse the toll of time.
Say what you must.
The registry is lost. The White Spire has fallen. Everything that I worked so hard to build up, gone. Just like that. And in its wake, all I can hear is a question. Was I wrong? Through all the years you've known me, watched me give up everything that I had for the city. Family, lovers, friends. I need to know. Was it all worth it? Please, Cicero, grant a dying man his wish.
Goodbye, Avestus.
It's like, we can't answer for you. That's something you have to decide. Certainly filling us up with all these lore points. I've witnessed the fall of the king, the man who epitomized, personified, practicality, has had his throne crumble beneath him, and I cannot say the sight is anything other than pathetic. Long have I wondered how much the man paid for his glory, and now the wounds have risen to the surface, For time I thought I hadn't cared about all that. He'd lost. He had no qualms being a savage leader. He needed to be. I suppose that was a foolish thought. We may live in a city of magic, but that does not make us any less human. Loss still hurts, no matter how pristine your throne. There's been a time when he could have built his life upon things that would last. Warmth of cultivated love, comfort of a family. But he gave it all up for his seat, and now that's gone. Service is a reminder for me. Build what I can, when I can. Things are more resilient than the power of fortune. Is it? Oh. I miss my parents. Perhaps I will see them when this is over. Damien still lives, despite the flames that took his parents. For now, that is enough. There's mourning to be done about the destruction of his body, but that will be taken care of later. For now, he's alive. That is enough. It must be. Let Raz be right, please. Image knows he's in the presence of other Fey will disrupt the lady's senses. It's the only hope we have to eluding her gaze.
So, that's that, then? That'll prevent us from being changed into masquerades.
If what we suspect is true, yes.
And if it's not, then we're dead either way.
Enough wading in such red waters, please.
Zilya's right. It will soon be time to march, and we do not have heart to spare for foul thoughts. But do we have enough? The spire is practically impenetrable. It'll be like scaling a jagged cliff.
There are ways about it, Rex, I assure you.
I'm not speaking of tactical maneuverings, Valencio. I'm speaking of sheer numbers. From the reports, the force that we're up against comprises faction upon faction of masked runners. Do we know just exactly what we're up against?
We're outnumbered, aren't we? The masked runners are strong in number, yes, but we are trained in the Medea, and they are not. That has always been the advantage of the Masquerada, and it will be what wins us this battle, too. And what if... Luminary, if there are any concerns that you have. What if she's right?
Fey.
She?
This Lucia woman that you've spoken of, and the cataclysm. I mean, if we're going so far as to believe everything that you've told us about that stone that you've got there, about what happened at the Hall of Songs, who's to say she isn't right?
Your words are bordering on treacherous, Savian.
Perhaps if I had some assurance that...
Mirabas is dead, and the Hall of Songs has withered. Is that not assurance enough that Lucia cares not for our culture? For what defines us as a people? Is that the sort of leader that you wish to follow?
I suppose you're right. Forget I ever said anything. Please. Perhaps...
Amadea?
Cicero, the Dactytes have moved.
What?
The Labora's scouts saw them. A group has left the spire.
Prepare the defenses.
Not here. The Whispering Streets.
Why?
I don't know. But it was not a small dispatch.
Well, then we have to stop them, won't we?
Good. That's just what I was...
No.
They're trying to draw them out.
We're not going.
Why?
This is an opportunity. They're weakened. Their numbers are out. We must strike.
They are your brother's people, Cicero.
My brother is dead. And so is Razatov, and Lysandra, and Mirabas, and Ven. We're not going to the streets.
Cicero, please.
Leave us. We have things to discuss.
Cicero, what has gotten into you?
We need to make plans.
What we need is to...
Do not waste the lives of the Melicates, Zelia. They have bought us an opportunity. We are going to use it.
Agreed. We aren't in a position to go around helping other masked runners when we have enough who are trying to kill us. If the Crown would report their individual strengths, we can formulate a plan from there.
Will be just a moment. Amadea told us what happened.
Why aren't we going?
There's no time.
No time for what, Cicero? Your brother's people?
They could help us.
No. We stand a better chance now.
Please, what has gotten into you?
We have a job to do. The city is at stake and...
Siciana!
Do you feel that? That is pain, Gavar. Wrap your mind around it. Be familiar with it. Now see. You are still alive. You can survive this. You must.
I tried. I stayed. And it wasn't enough. They died because of me. Mira. Then... Livia. Because I was too slow. Because I was too stupid. Lucia warned me this would happen. She told me the others would pay. And they have. How can I live with myself?
We'll find a way. Together. All of us.
Now come here.
I'm sorry, Marshal. I think I might have gotten some blood on your armor.
I think I might leave it there. It's sure to be worth quite a bit when we win this war.
There. All done.
Where is she?
Out in the field.
I should go. Thank you. All of you.
Go, Cicero.
Oh, I guess it, is that the new one? Wait a minute. Okay, and then we had a new one for her. I think we found. Maybe it was this one. Hang on. Alright, we're switching to that. And then you had one, right? Is it this one? We'll try this still. Okay. So I guess we'll leave off here for now. And oh, weather stream crashed. Guess it was gone for too long. But yep. This is gonna be the end of the stream for me. And so we've just been collecting a lot of lore bits and getting our forces ready. Other than that, we'll see what happens next time. So I will say good night. Again, if you are somebody who's been in the path of the storms, especially if you're in any of the areas hit by the tornadoes, I hope you're safe, doing well. I hope anybody you care for, any of your fur babies, any of the, animals that have been out in areas that have been hit, have not suffered too much or are safe. I say goodnight to you now. Be well, and I will see you another time.